What is going on, Alabama football fans? Make sure you guys are subscribed right here to the Alabama Football Report. We've got a lot of news coming up the next few weeks here. Got the college football playoff rankings coming out tonight. I'll do a short and put that out for you guys tonight. We've got a lot of recruiting news, transfer portal news as well. Daily Alabama YouTube videos for you guys right here for free. So do not miss out. Make sure you guys hit that sub button for me right now. Coming up on today's show, we're going to be breaking down some of the latest news and rumors out there for Alabama's 2025 recruiting class, some flip targets, some guys possibly going to be flipping from this class. Of course, that early signing period starts on Wednesday, that being tomorrow, and will run through Friday. So we'll talk about some of those 2025 recruits and also some transfer portal rumors and news out there. First, transfer portal news, I guess, to get to today. Jahlil Hurley is planning on entering the college football transfer portal. I guess it's not too much of a surprise if yesterday we had our transfer portal candidates video and I had Jahlil Hurley on there. Like I said, this one just isn't too much as a surprise for me. Only played 19 snaps for Alabama so far this season. Had multiple true freshmen starting over him. He does have multiple years of eligibility left. I was really hoping he was going to be a guy that kind of stuck it out and just kind of, let the progression happen naturally, but it's just kind of where we're at in college football right now. A lot of players don't like sticking around. They want to play. They want to get that time on task. They want to get some film, for those NFL scouts out there. So it is what it is, but Jahlil Hurley will be entering the college football transfer portal. That's going to be a 20-day window that opens up on December 9th as well. So technically not in, but he is the third Alabama player along with Jaheim Otis and also Keanu Coate entering the portal so far. We'll talk about some possible replacements for him as well later on in the show. But first, want to get to some recruiting news as well. Bama Online, 247 Sports as well have been reporting that five-star offensive tackle Ty Haywood is not expected to remain in Alabama's 2025 recruiting class. This comes on the tail end of Michigan getting Bryce Underwood to flip with a massive NIL deal for him. Well, they're doing the same exact thing here for Ty Haywood. They offer him a massive NIL deal. Now, it's not, set in stone that he's going to be going to Michigan, but it really does seem like Michigan is the favorite here. He's been trying to set up visits here for a couple of weeks to go to Michigan, especially since they got Bryce Underwood to flip from LSU, of course, the number one player in the country this year. And he's not going to be an early enrollee anywhere, so he has plenty of time to, drag out this recruitment process here for him. Like I said, he's trying to take a couple visits up to Michigan, up to Ann Arbor, just to see, kind of what everything's about up there. But, it seems to me like he really does want to play with Bryce Underwood, and he wants to get that bag as well. And I'll be honest, I can't really blame the kid. If Michigan's just out here handing out $10 million over 4 years, can't really blame the kid. Look, it is what it is. Look, he's a five-star offensive tackle. You want him in this class, but Alabama still, at the end of the day, feels really comfortable where they sit in their offensive line class this season. So are you guys happy with a top 5 recruiting class? Alabama might not get that 1 or 2 spot, but I still think in less than a year that Kalen DeBoer and this staff has been on campus, top 5 seems pretty good to me as well. So let me know at the pinned comment, type Y for yes or N for no. Another flip target that Alabama is going after this time, 4-star wide receiver Derek Meadows is predicted by 247 Sports' Tom Loy to flip from LSU to Alabama. You remember back during the summertime, he was one of these big wide receiver candidates that Alabama was looking at, took a couple visits to Alabama, ultimately decided with LSU. Michigan was also in the running for Meadows as well. But it seems like right now, there are multiple teams there. Notre Dame, Michigan, like I said. As of right now, it feels like it's kind of the same thing with Bryce Underwood flipping from LSU to Michigan. Michigan is in the running now. Alabama seems like they're in the running as well. But in terms of the LSU side of things, it seems like they expect him not to be in their 2025 recruiting class here. Bama, as of Monday, seems like the favorite according to Bama Online. Of course, they're on On3 site there. But we will definitely monitor Derek Meadows. You remember back during the summertime as well, he was definitely one of those wide receivers that they wanted to get. He's 6'5", 200 pounds, so he's a really big build as well. And look, Alabama still got Latsier Brooks in their class. They had Jamie French. He ended up decommitting and then committing elsewhere. You had Caleb Cunningham. He flipped just a couple of weeks ago to Ole Miss. So Alabama still does want another wide receiver in this class if they can get it. If they can't, maybe they just go the transfer portal route at the end of the day. There are two more players here that I want to discuss on today's show. Alabama is trying to flip two different Auburn commits right here. Aquan Fegans and Donovan Starr. Fegans took an unofficial visit to Alabama for the Iron Bowl, so he's been on campus very recently, and it sounds like he at least appreciates, anyways, what Alabama can bring to the table. Sounds like LSU is also still, coming on strong here late, according to his father. For Fegans, anyways, it seems like it might be a long shot to get him. He committed back to Auburn back in July, and he's been to Auburn several times here during the season as well. But when it comes to Donovan Starr, it seems like that is a real possibility there. He was crystal balled to flip by Tom Loy of 247 Sports from Auburn to Alabama. So it seems like there's a decent little chance there. Sounds like Vandy also there. He is from Brentwood, Tennessee, so right there pretty much in Nashville there. So Vandy is still an option there. Might not be an announcement, that he's going to decommit or that he's going to flip. Might not see a Hayes Fawcett graphic out there, but it might actually just come down to actually National Signing Day here on Wednesday. So two notable names also in this 2025 class at that defensive back spot. So, like we said, kind of going back to Jahlil Hurley there, Alabama still really likes where they sit in this 2025 class. I would not assume that, they freak out or anything like that over somebody like Jahlil Hurley hitting the portal. We'll continue on here in just a second with some more transfer portal rumors, but first, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor today, Game Time. Game Time has a new feature now called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out all the fluff to only show you the incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. Game Time Picks is just curation that makes it easier to save more on sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and so much more. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer you get to the start of the event. So, if you're in town last minute and just want to, last minute go to an event, you can do that with Game Time. They have all-in pricing. You can toggle this feature on. Shows the total up front, so there are no surprise fees at checkout. They also have views from your seat. You can get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy, so you're not surprised by what your view actually looks like before you buy your tickets. If you want to go to some Alabama basketball games, got that on tap coming up here with the football season over. You can also get baseball, softball, anything like that once those sports really start coming around. But look, playing Creighton here in a couple of weeks, playing North Carolina. If you want to go on the road to North Carolina tomorrow, you can get your tickets last minute on Game Time. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, redeem promo code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Check out GameTime.co for last minute tickets. Terms do apply, but again, create an account and redeem promo code CHATSPORTS CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. That link is in the comments section and the description of today's video. Download Game Time today, because what time is it? It's game time. Now, like I said a little bit ago, the transfer portal doesn't actually open up until December 9th, so next week actually. But there are still already players entering the transfer portal like Jahlil Hurley, like we talked about. And there's even some players out there already making plans to where they want to go, where they want to visit, and who they want to talk to as well. First transfer portal rumor coming up here on today's show. Alabama is a team to monitor for Georgia cornerback Julian Humphreys here in the transfer portal. Humphreys, look, he started a lot of games this year for Georgia, so it's a little bit of a surprise that he's hitting the transfer portal. Started 10 games for the Bulldogs this year, has 2 more years of eligibility left, but it does sound like, towards the end of the season, it seems like week 12 against Tennessee, he kind of got benched during that game for Daniel Harris anyways. And Humphreys ended up being the backup for the rest of the game, and he did not see the field against Georgia Tech in Week 14. So very unfortunate for him there, but a couple of teams involved for him, Texas A&M, Oregon, Alabama, Miami, and Texas. And also, he tried to hit the portal last year and ended up not. He kind of took the Elijah Pritchett route, hopping into the portal and just coming back to Georgia. He had a decent season, I thought, this year. Now, maybe some of those, fine-tuning things on the field weren't actually that good. Like I said, he got benched after a pass interference call. So might just be one of those things where it's kind of last straw there for Kirby Smart. But with Jahlil Hurley now hitting the transfer portal for Alabama, kind of makes it more feasible. I was thinking coming into this video that, I just didn't think it was going to be that feasible with Alabama possibly bringing anywhere from 3 to 5 players into this 2025 recruiting class in this defensive backfield. I think Zabian Brown's going to stick around. Damani Jackson, he's had a phenomenal season. He might go off to the NFL, but he might stay as well. Malachi Moore is really the only guy, him and Jahlil Hurley obviously now, that are going to be gone from this defensive backfield. So unless there's somebody else that hits the portal again, like a Deshaun Jones or maybe a King Mack or somebody like that, maybe Drake or Patrick, I don't know. I didn't see it originally, but still, it's kind of one of those things. Obviously, he hit the transfer portal because he wants to be a guy that starts. I don't know if coming into this Alabama defensive backfield, if he is actually going to be able to make his way into a starting role. So, look, Alabama's out there as one of these teams for him. We'll see if it actually comes to fruition. So name a player who has already hit the transfer portal that you guys want Alabama to pursue. I think one of my biggest position groups, is probably fill some voids within that offensive line. See if you got to go out there and get a right tackle possibly. And you would like some cornerback help as well, I think, to kind of fill out that room. You don't just want a ton of young talent in there. So let me know in the comments section, what player that has already announced that they will be hitting the transfer portal do you want Alabama to pursue? Alabama is also a team to monitor for NC State wide receiver Kevin Concepcion. I absolutely love saying this guy's name, so I really hope he actually does come to Alabama because, honestly, his name is just really, really fun and to say at the end of the day. But look, he's been a pretty decent player as well his first couple of years in college football at NC State. Now, this season, his numbers kind of took a little bit of a dip, but at the end of the day, he's been a pretty decent player for NC State. Played 13 games his freshman year, played 12 games this year. But you see right there, the production has kind of dipped in half as well. Now, his first year, too, he had 41 carries as well for 320 rush yards and a couple touchdowns on the ground. That's pretty damn good. This guy's a pretty decent athlete. Why the production slipped, don't really know there. But some teams to monitor for him as well: Colorado, Alabama, Penn State, and Kansas State for him. So, I mean, some pretty decent teams there. I would say maybe outside Kansas State or something like that. But Penn State, Alabama, Colorado, I think those are pretty solid names there for him. When it comes to needs anyways, because that's why you go to the transfer portal, right? It's because you have a need there. I didn't put any wide receivers on our transfer portal candidates list yesterday because I honestly had no idea who to go to because there's a lot of guys that didn't play, right? Emmanuel Henderson kind of had some ups and downs, had some fumble issues this year, but, had flashed at times when he was on the field on offense. Bubba Hampton, he played a little bit. Rico Scott, some of these younger guys, Alabama brought in a couple of guys last year in their freshman class. So I don't know if the need is necessarily there, but who knows? Look, there was a lot of ups and downs this year with Alabama. Maybe Kendrick Law. honestly, is kind of a sleeper transfer portal guy as well. Didn't see a lot of production from him, maybe Kobe Prentice as well. So I think, having somebody like Concepcion, kind of in your radar is probably good. We'll see if any of these guys hit the portal for Alabama, but I think that's probably something that would have to happen. Alabama probably has to lose a couple guys in this wide receiver room if they're going to end up taking any more, considering they're only going after 2 wide receivers in their 2025 recruiting class anyways.